Your 8-minute question and answer period will now begin. What surprised you the most as you worked on your projects over the last year?
Yeah, I'd say what surprised us most was, well, for one, obviously this pandemic had a lot of challenges across the board when operating, but really just was our resilience in order to pivot our projects from being very much in-person projects, such as the Liberty Project, Youth Art Project, that you heard of today in our videos. I mean, these are mentors that are going in physically to each classroom, and through a lot of brainstorming, through a lot of teamwork, we had a change management actual task force that we incorporated within the beginning 4 months of our actual team operations this year. We really learned how to pivot, and at the end, the Youth Thrive program graduated over 450 clients. We had an awesome virtual Youth X where these 12-year-olds were actually, presenting their business ideas in front of a camera. It was totally awesome. The Liberty Project was still able to graduate 8 women, and these women were from their bedrooms, sewing reusable masks that are going back into the community. So I'd say that's the biggest surprise, was our ability to actually pivot from very traditional in-person projects and then more exciting, online virtual-based projects. And we actually have some new projects in the pipeline as well, which you heard of today, such as Mycolites. Our ability to do that all together was something we're really, really, really proud of.
Just to add on to that as well, we actually, something special this year, we had a client that participated in the Liberty Project who actually did it virtual and in person. And as you've seen in our testimonial, she said she actually enjoyed it more virtually. And she said the connection was just so much greater. So that's something super special, is that we were able to replicate that connection even more, even though it was just virtual.
How do you measure the long-term impact your projects have on beneficiaries?
So the way we measure our impact for the Liberty Project is we start with an entrance survey. So kind of measuring where clients are when they enter the program mentally, and how far they are along in their journey to recovery, as well as we take an exit survey. So this is how we've impacted them over the program and how much they've changed and how ready they are to re-enter the workforce, as well as we also take attendance at our Liberty for All and Liberty Grad ceremonies, as well as we ran our program, our curriculum, through the Noah's House this year virtually. So we did take numbers on that as well to see how many people we've reached with that curriculum.
And on the Youth Thrive front of things, we follow the exact same model for internally tracking the students' progress. We issue initial and closing surveys to track how their confidence levels, financial literacy levels were entering the program, and how that's improved over the 10 weeks. And we track those programs and our status of that over the course of the 10 weeks and beyond. What makes the Youth Thrive Project so different this year is especially we gave the teacher the opportunity to do that. So rather than us just tracking it internally, the teacher is able to go and view and see the progress the students are making weekly. The students have to follow mandatory quizzes and complete mandatory quizzes based on the material and the curriculum each and every week. And the teacher is able to easily go in with just a few clicks and see which students are going ahead, which students are falling behind, and where each student is with their business in that stage. So the teacher gets to track it in their own way, and we also keep the database individually.
Did your team take any action to increase diversity and inclusion?
Yeah, excellent question. So this year being so different, we knew we really had to take an extra step. And one of the things that we did to actually do that was we initiated a diversity inclusion actual task force right on our team. And from there, we actually had these panel discussions that we call them. So these were panel-wide and actually team-wide virtual calls that we had, where we had our 100+ members take part in these. We had the leader of the anti-Black racism task force at the University of Windsor come in and run an interactive virtual session. As well, we had someone named Husoni Raymond, who was an individual coming from St. John's, New Brunswick, actually, and he led one of the grassroots initiatives for the anti-Black and Black Lives Matter movement right in his hometown. So he really brought that extra set of diversity and personal experience that he was able to share in order to just educate us. We knew that we had the first step towards becoming a more diverse and inclusive and active Windsor team was that education piece. And having these panel discussions where it was focused on education and then implementation, we really felt as though we were able to increase diversity and inclusion across the board and give our members an outlet to feel welcomed and inclusive on the team.
Could you clarify the role of your partnerships and the role of your team in your projects?
So we partner with the House of Software Scene. We've partnered with them since the beginning, and they are the person who refers our clients to us. We're very close to them, and we are always in contact with them. They refer us people who they feel are ready to take on our program and are ready to really re-enter the workforce and are stable in their journey. Her name is Lillian, and this year she's actually helped facilitate a lot of the sewing machines and materials to the clients, which has been super helpful for us during this time where we aren't able to be in contact with directly with our demographic. As well as we do partner with the School of Social Work. So we recruit our consultants from this area of the University of Windsor. They are upper year social work students. This ensures that our clients are partnered with somebody who has that experience in their degree and are really getting the most out of our program.
How does your team define success?
Our team defines success. This year it looks a little bit different, especially because of all the restrictions we've had. But I would say for the Liberty Project, we've seen great success this year. So something that we've measured for our success is we came out with a merchandise line actually last year, but we were doing in-person selling, and due to COVID-19, we obviously couldn't do that anymore. So we moved to a completely online platform for selling, and that is how we measured success. One way. The other way was that we still were able to impact so many clients. It wasn't our usual numbers, but still 8 people we were able to really connect with and impact. And like I said in the testimonial, it was a greater impact even though we weren't in person.
Just add on to that, a more formalized way that we recognize success across the board, across all of our projects, is any client that we work with, we have an entrance survey that they take in, that they complete, and then an exit survey, so we can really measure where they were at the beginning of our program from the end.
Have you engaged any subject matter experts in the development of your projects?
In terms of the Youth Thrive side of things, we actually have a small business center just a few blocks away from a university who we've actually partnered with in the past, and we give our student entrepreneurs the opportunity to partner with local entrepreneurs and gain the experience past the 10 weeks. So we do give them practical experience throughout the week, but we also have various partners like WFCU who come in to give guest speaking opportunities, people like Rosati who are very big partners in our city who give these students practical opportunities outside of the classroom.
One way that we really tap into
Your time has now expired. Thank you, Enactus University of Windsor.